You're going to love this. Trust me, what you're seeing now is my normal state.
Welcome, I'm Spaghetti King, and this is Best Friend Confesses on Your Wedding Day by Afterglow ASMR. This, the classic one, and this one is real good. So the structure of this one can be cut down largely into, I would say, 4 pieces, which is the beginning part where she meets you, the part where she kind of questions you, well, she like fixes up your tie and she's all like, oh, you know, if there's any problems, whatnot, when your best man shows up, and then it goes into her saying, don't marry her, and then she explains that she's loved you this entire time, and whoever you're marrying would not be appropriate for you, and then goes to the end with you confirming, you know, you love her as well, and then, you know, it goes to that. With that in mind, the beginning of this is nice because it's not exactly what I expected. At least the way it went isn't exactly what I expected, which is that it opens up with her being like, oh, how's the groom? Oh, you're looking so great in your tux, whatnot. And, you know, technically I'm wearing a tux right now, actually, because a tux just means black tie fashion, which, other than a vest, is pretty much what I'm wearing right now. So, I mean, I guess I'm, you know, dressed for the occasion. But it begins with this whole quaint thing, and she says, apparently your bride has her veil on crooked or something, and your tie is crooked, so she's going to, you know, my tie is looking like this, so she's gonna fix it, right? And it goes from there to say that you mentioned that she wrote your vows. Where she says, oh no, I didn't. And it goes to explain that I guess she basically like wrote a transcript of your vows, as in like, or like paraphrased you. You just said what you said, and then she like put it on paper for you. Not necessarily a bad idea, because I know I'm a shy bugger, and having someone else kind of like do it for me, I could see where that would help as well, you know. But you have this, and it's interesting because she feels like shame in it. She's like, oh, well, you know, it's not really proper that I wrote your vows to her, etc. And then you say, well, she apparently copied her vows out of Google. Which is quite the funny thing. And some people do that. That's real funny. Go to like Google image wallpapers and just look for like marriage vows, and then just like copy the second thing you see. The great thing is people have done it. I'm too literate to stoop to that level myself, but it's been done, and you know, it is a bit, it's amusing at the least, right? So after establishing this, then it goes with your best man showing up. My best man is here. What's up, bro? But actually, he never shows up, so I'm not sure if it actually was him. Because then she goes on to say, right before she's about to, I guess, leave to the audience, she says, don't marry her. Don't marry her. And she goes on this very nice speech where she says, you know, Is she the thing you think of every time you wake up and every time you go to sleep? Does she make you want to be a better version of yourself, not just for her sake, but for yours as well? Etc., etc., etc. And it's nice. It's nice. Not exactly the way I think of like a marriage partner, but you know, pretty wholesome and you know, pretty legit. And you know, from then on, she says, well, you know, she says that basically this woman you're marrying is just not appropriate for you. You'll be miserable marrying her. Apparently, you haven't known her for a long time, but most marriages you haven't. Being realistic about that, and you know, she just doesn't like it. You know, she's my former best friend in this case, or current best friend, whatever, female best friend, and you know, she thinks that you know, she doesn't advise. Initially, you try to stop her from talking. You're all like, "Ah, no," and she's like, "Don't deny it just to make me stop talking. You know, do you really love her, etc." And extrapolating on her reasons, eventually she just says, "Well, because I love you." And then she reiterates her point. She says, "You know, when I wake up every morning, you're the first thing that comes to my mind. When I sleep, you're the last thing that comes to my mind. I want to be the best version of who I am for my sake and yours." And she says, though she isn't being the best version of herself right now, because I mean, she's encouraging you to like dump this bride you have, who knows how much you paid for this, etc. All this expectation that you built for her, which seems very inappropriate. She says it's not equivalent to the amount of regret you'll feel if you marry her. That is this bride. And you basically go along with that. You know, you basically say, "Oh, well, I'm calling off the wedding. I'm going." Yeah, I don't know. Throw your tie off. Maybe, you know, maybe no, maybe so. And you tell her to meet you outside in her car, engine running, and you'll go. And it's like, yeah. And while it's said that this is like completely unrealistic, which it sort of is, at the same time, I don't really mind, to be honest, because number one, it doesn't have to be super realistic. I mean, stories always exaggerate for the sake of interest. In this case, that's definitely an effect, and I don't mind it at all. I like it, because it's something, I mean, it can happen. And in this case, because she's like a best friend type, that makes it much more realistic that it does happen. And I'm really fine with it. Because I can relate to that. I can relate to even being in like not being in a marriage setup, but not having like real reciprocated feelings. I can understand that, and in this context, and a friend comprehending that more, etc. I can see where all of it comes. I can see the reasonability in all of it, and on that end, because I've talked about the summary at this point, I've talked about the plot. Let's talk about the characterization, which is in this end great, which is that again, every motive of this character is, I would say, reasonable and understandable, even if perhaps unrealistic in context. I understand the reason for all of it, and I understand why each act carries itself from the beginning of this story to the end. As I said, it goes in the beginning to her being like, "Oh, well, you know, she's looking beautiful in the other room. She can't wait to see you two. Don't marry her. We're going," you know, as a complete transition. And it comes very naturally because she was hiding her feelings. The feelings she does have is realistic because of her history with you and the kind of person she is, and you know, what she has, the feelings she has for you. And that's revealed as it goes, and the kind of pressure she would be in to reveal it makes sense. And then your response in this case, again, because you've known her for such a long time, is reasonable enough, and then the response to that is satisfying. You go and escape with her and whatnot, and that's a real good deal. I don't mind that, I like that. And it's a good feeling, and it's backed up by excellent acting on her part. She's very cute, she has a very cute voice. And it makes her feel very sincere in a good way, which not everyone can do. You know, some people are good at, like, intimidation, others are good at this kind of sincere, not even like a happy thing, but just a sincere kind of impression, and I think she's good at that. Also, just a very kawaii voice in general. Like when she says, "Don't marry her," it's very cute. Don't marry her. Just in that, I don't know, dude. The way you say marry, that's like a judge of the cuteness meter on your voice. You know, if you can say that in a cute way, then you can say other things in a cute way too, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Like, on all of this, we're talking motivation, the plot itself, the characterization. All of it is reasonable, all of it is conveyed exactly as it needs to be within the time, and all of it's engaging, immersive, and relaxing. Because, again, she's very cute. So, honestly, I have nothing negative to say about this. No. The only negative thing I could say about it is if you don't like the scenario for some reason. On like a personal basis, but as for the structure of it, as for what it is, I have nothing negative to say. So anything else, anything else would be the art. Art is this girl, sort of like blonde or orangey hair, some lipstick on, she's all a bit more goofy with food in my mouth, but she's all like somberly looking. With like this basic background to it. Art's pretty basic, but it's fine enough at conveying what you need. Besides that, couldn't think of anything other, like any sound effects or anything in it that I could critique. No, it's pretty much just audio. So I'll say on that, that's pretty much my overall review of it, so I'll give you the rating. You know probably what to expect out of it at this point, but audio 5 out of 5, wholesome rating 5 out of 5, overall rating 10 out of 10, rank legend. The highest recommendation I could possibly give. Highest rating I could possibly give. This is excellent. Watch it. It's, I mean, I don't know where I would rank it overall in terms of like the best ASMRs I've watched, but man, it's great. So that's all I can say. So, you know, please do watch Afterglow ASMR, a good one. Maybe I'll review some of her new stuff, you know, in time. But as for this one, just magnificent. So, there you go. Thank you for watching. I'm Spaghetti King. I love you all, and farewell.